So, guys, do you know how hard it is for a music artist today, for example, to make something that is not to make something, but to get to the point where, hey, now people recognize you for your music. Now you're successful in the music industry. Now people want you to go festivals. Now they want you to go nightclubs. They're always calling you to go to these places like festivals and nightclubs now. And you're traveling the world like Steve Aoki and Tiesto, and you're on radio and stuff. I mean, you have to realize it's really difficult for an artist who's starting out in the music industry to break through to a better ground. You understand? You have to realize. Imagine you just first start music and you start creating music, and no one listens to your music. You understand? No one's listening to your music, and you're sending your music out here and there. You're getting some bad feedback for it. You're getting some good feedback for it, and it's like you're putting all this money into your music and stuff, and it's like you're getting somewhere, but at the same time, you're not getting to the point where you need to be. You understand? So you have to realize, for example, with my music career, you have to realize it's much more how, when I first started out to do music production, I didn't have direction in my music. I didn't have direction in what direction I wanted to go in. So then I realized I was making music and stuff. I wasn't quite there yet. I wasn't quite making music that was really great to listen to. Even though the music that I always create, in terms of the music I create now especially, I listen to it much more often these days because it's something that I enjoy. You understand? So you have to realize that I don't make music for other people. I make it for myself. You understand? So when I feel that I need new music in my life, I just make new music that I've never heard before. But the thing is, it's so hard to get recognized about what you do. You understand? So you have to realize, no matter what it is, I realize, especially in the music industry, I realize it's much more, if you want to get on the radio, if you want to go to nightclubs, if you want to go festivals and you want to DJ at all these places, and you want to have your music play in advertisements, and you have to realize that's all about success, isn't it? But you have to stay consistent. You have to stay consistent in what you do. And you don't know if you're going to make it or not. You understand? You don't know if your music is going to be recognized by people as something big. You understand? So make sure you understand that it's really difficult to get to a point where, not that you're not satisfied with your music, but it's much more how it's just to the point where you want to be. You understand? You want to go festivals, you want to go nightclubs, you want to be on radio, you want people to call you to places so you can play your music. I realize when you get to that point, I realize it's much more how it's going to be better, isn't it? But the thing is that it's the journey there. You understand? It's just, hey, you have to find time to make music now, and you have to realize you have to make music when no one's listening to it. I realize no one's calling you to go DJ places. I realize not many people are watching your social media account. I realize you're not on radio, and it's like, that's discouragement. You know, so it's discouragement that other people are not calling you, that you're not going festivals, that you're not going that you're not going to nightclubs, that your music is not on radio, that you're not successful as other artists are. In a sense, so in order to become something even greater in your music career or in any kind of career, you have to really stay consistent about what you do, and you have to be happy along the way. You understand? I realize it's not about being as successful as other people. It's more about you being more successful than yesterday. So if you can just keep going with whatever you're doing, making sure that you're producing more content, making sure you're learning from it, making sure you're learning exactly what you need to learn, I realize it's much more how you have to start understanding that you're going to get places as long as you're still producing content, as long as you're still doing something to make sure that you can get heard and that you can get to places where you need to be. You understand? So it's just It's not easy for a music artist or a vocalist or a life coach or anybody for that, for any kind of passion to get recognized. In a sense, so you have to do a lot of work. You have to do a lot of work first, and then you have to get to the point where you're really, really good at something. When you're really good at something, and then you share it around, and then if it happens, it happens. You know what I'm saying? If something happens with your passions in terms of your life where you can, hey, you're starting to progress now, you're starting to get to a better place now, I realize it's much more, anything can happen. So you just have to understand that in the meantime, for example, my music career, I've been in the music industry for 6 years now. You have to realize it's coming up to 6 years. And it's like I'm starting to get to places where I'm producing at least decent music that I can listen to. You understand? So I'm producing music that I can listen to. And it's not bad music, it's not the best music, but I realize it can get me to a nightclub. I can play at festivals. You understand? So it's much more what's my next steps in terms of my music production. It's much more how, in terms of my music career, I have to start making more music, even though nobody listens to it that much. You understand? So nobody's really following me as much. You understand? It's much more how, yes, some people probably are following me, but it's not like the whole world's following me, or it's not like I have success like Tiesto or Armin van Buuren and all these people that I listen to, you understand? But it's like you want to break through, you want to create something so good that people can listen to, so that you can be successful, so that you can provide for your family, so that you can have money in life. You understand? So it's like when you're first starting out in anything, it's a struggle. You understand? It's a struggle to keep going in some direction when nobody's listening to you except yourself. And it's like you have to create this success. And it's like a game. And so it's like a game you're playing, but it's not a game either. It's like you're trying to be successful and you're trying to get to places. You're trying to be much more than you are. And it's like you just have to describe it in words. You just have to keep going. You have to keep believing in yourself that you can someday make it to a nightclub, that you can someday make it to a festival, that someday someone's going to call you, that someday you're going to go up to people and you're going to ask for an opportunity, that you're going to send your music out, share it around, and see who likes it. You understand? So it's like, yes, my music and my career in terms of my life coaching and everything is changing people's lives, but I'm still not at the point where I want to be at. I still want to be more successful. I want to be creating more things. I want to express myself more. I want to help myself to do better, but I have to enjoy this moment. I have to enjoy where I'm at now. And now if I never achieve all those dreams that I want to achieve, then it's not the end of the world for me. You understand? I can still make music. I can still make life coaching programs. I can still do all my passions, even though lots of people are not listening to me. You understand? So it's not the end of the world. I realize I don't care if people listen to my content or not. You understand? I want to share it around. I want people to listen. But it's like, if they don't want to listen to my content, I don't care. You understand? So it's much more how I realize how difficult it can be for a person to break through. You understand? To break through into a way of success in what they do. You understand? You just have to stay consistent. You have to keep creating things. You have to keep enjoying your life. I realize, don't try to get to a point where other people are at. Don't try to be as successful as other people. Try to be more successful than yesterday. You understand? Try to be in your life for yourself to be more successful than you are yesterday. For yourself. And so try for yourself to be a better version of you in all areas of life, regardless of other people. You understand? So, yes, I realize my music is right now good enough to listen to, in my perspective. I realize it's a nice music that I have, and my audio programs and everything I do with my life coaching is nice to see. You know what I'm saying? It's nice to listen to, but I still have to get to a better place. I still have to believe in myself that I can break through, that I can eventually get to the place that I want to go. And how do I get there? I have to speak more words. I have to listen to more silence. I have to watch more images. I have to make sure I'm coaching myself more. I have to make sure that I'm doing a better job overall. In a sense, so it's much more, it's a journey, you understand? So Deadmau5 told me over his video program, and he said, it may take you 20 years, it may take you 30 years, it may take you 6 years, it may take you 2 years to really get good at something that you need to do. You understand? He says, it might take you that long. It might take you 5 years, 6 years to get to the point where you need to be. You understand? So, for example, you have to realize it's different for everyone. The more work you put in, the more you get out. You understand? So you have to realize if you really want to if you really want to get to a point where you're doing good things in the planet, where you're realizing, hey, yes, I'm doing good things. I have to do better. I have to do more. I have to speak more words. I have to realize that there is something that I can do to make sure that my life is getting better and better and better. I promise you, that's all you have to do. I realize, don't worry about anything else. I realize, just understand that you just need to get better and better and better. I realize if you stick to getting better, regardless of what happens, I realize just make sure that you're satisfied. Make sure that you're happy. Don't try to get to places where you're not happy. Don't get to places where you're not right now in those moments and stuff like that. You have to realize it's more about making sure that you're happy with your work, doing a good job for yourself, making sure that you're progressing in your life in some kind of way. You understand? So make sure, as long as you're progressing in some kind of way, making sure that you're better than yesterday in some kind of way, I promise you that's going to fulfill you. You understand? So you have to realize, yes, I want to be as successful as Tiesto. I want to be successful like David Guetta and all these people. You understand? So the thing is, I'm already successful to some degree. You understand? So it's like, yes, I want to achieve their success. You understand? I want to achieve their success. But once I get to those moments where, let's say I achieve that kind of success that they have, then I'm always going to want even more than that. I'm always going to want more than what I have. You understand? Because when I want more and when I do more, I'm more satisfied. And then if I just don't do anything anymore, if I quit my music career now, if I quit my life coaching, if I quit what I do, then I'm not going to be as satisfied. You understand? I'm not going to be, for example, the person I need to be. In a sense, so I'm always becoming, aren't I? I'm always becoming into that individual that I need to be. But I have to create that for myself. I have to speak the words of that. I have to make sure that I get to the place that I want to be at. You know, sometimes it's really difficult for me to start creating something. You know, because sometimes I don't feel like doing anything. You know, sometimes I don't have the motivation to keep on creating things. You understand? So where I find my motivation is in the words. As long as I can speak words, I'm motivated. You understand? If I can speak words with myself on a daily basis, in every single moment, then I can stay motivated in some kind of way. You understand? So it's more about understanding that, yes, you want to break through as an artist. You want to make sure that people understand you, that people recognize you, that people cherish your work, that they cherish the person you are. You understand? You want some validation. I understand that. I understand you want to become so successful that people say, hey, this guy is the thing, or this person's the thing in life. This person has good music. This person has good life coaching techniques. This person has a perspective. This person has whatever it is. I understand that you want to make it. I understand you want to make it to a better way. I understand that you want to get to a better place in your life. I realize we all want to get to a better place in our lives. You understand? I realize it just takes time, doesn't it? It takes time to get to that place. I realize if it happened overnight, then it wouldn't, you have to realize if everything happened overnight, then it wouldn't be the journey that it is. You understand? It doesn't happen overnight. I realize success doesn't happen overnight, even though it does. You understand? So you have to set realistic goals. You understand? Something that you can achieve. Don't set goals that you can't achieve. You understand? Don't set goals that you don't think that you can achieve. Set goals that you think are realistic for you, that you can achieve, and work toward realistic aspects of life. In a sense, so the thing is that for me in my music production now, I realize for me it's just about make that fucking next track. Make the next track. Make some new sounds. Just play around with the software. Play around, see what you can do, and you'll learn something from it. You understand? So it's much more create something that you never created before. Make sure it sounds decent. And it's like eventually, you never know. You might go to a nightclub. You might go to a festival. You just never know. I realize that at the moment, me going to a nightclub and me being at a nightclub to DJ and me being at a festival to DJ is not realistic for me. It's not realistic because it's not happening right now for me. I've been doing music production for almost 6 years now, and I still have not made it to a nightclub. I still have not DJed in my life in front of people. And so the thing is that you have to realize, yes, it's a long journey. 6 years is a long time. And 6 years, you can do a lot in 6 years of time. And I created around 300 tracks. I mean, you have to realize that's at least 300 days of sitting on the computer. You understand? Sitting on the computer making something. And along the journey, I've been happy. I've been happy making music. I've been happy creating things in my life. You understand? So it's like, yes, you want to get to a better place, but you have to start now. You understand? You have to start now, this moment. This is only in the beginning of what's to come. You understand? You have to be prepared for everything. You understand? And the only way to be prepared about it is to plan it. You have to start planning your life. You have to realize it's not just about your music career, it's about your health as well. It's about how else are you helping people? You understand? Are you speaking enough words in life? Are you trying to manifest something better? Are you trying to do better for yourself? You understand? So you have to realize it's just about understanding. You understand? Understanding how to get to better places in your life and trying to make common sense. I realize if you can make common sense in daily life about everything, then that's the success you need. I realize that's all you need. You just need to make more common sense with yourself, understanding that, yes, I understand it's difficult to get to a place where you want to go. I understand it's very difficult. You understand? But you have to keep going. You have to keep being simple about it. You have to start doing more work now so that you can get to better places. You understand? So you have to keep working. You have to keep being someone who's always working. You understand? Working at something. Even if it's little, make sure you work on everything. Work on everything you can to make sure you get to a better place.